mainstream musicians for the Bulgarian scene. I think it's important to underline this. In what aspect? Well, let's have a look at last year's lineup, for example. On one hand, you have musicians, bands that have a long career behind them and have performed all over the world, but have for some reason skipped the Bulgarian scene, such as, for example, Red Snapper, Igor Box, or better known as Scalpel, etc. And for them and for the audience, it's a first time. So this is something we insist on. Another thing is, young European musicians that are making their first steps on the international scene, and of which Mellow Music Festival is proud to be, part of their catalyzation of their international career. So we dare to say that it's a pretty challenging task, and I think my Bulgarian colleagues in the audience will for sure share this opinion with me. A whole lineup with pretty much unknown artists and still trying to make a living out of it is pretty hard job. So how to do this? I think on one hand we have succeeded in this task, or are succeeding bit by bit in this task, by the format in which we presented, being the 3 stages that Elena has just explained. On one hand, we have the free park event with a big stage, where we present the artists we really want the Bulgarian audience to get acquainted with, and it's for free. There were 7,000 people there, and I think a lot of people discovered some interesting music new for the Bulgarian scene, not only international artists but Bulgarians as well. On the other hand, there was the street event, which was a bit more focused towards families. About 10,000 people showed up, and I'm sure a lot of musical discoveries were made, which in a normal concert format, wouldn't have achieved such a high exposure. And then the third event, or the third part of the urban level, the urban rhythm, was the club event. Six events in clubs around Elika, where for €5 one could just travel around the clubs and experience the positive stress that one experiences on a festival of, I want to see them, but I want to see the other guys as well. Let's run from one stage to another. And, it's kind of, we wanted to go out of the box of a field festival and see how we could transpose this to an urban context. So, there's the accessibility of the democracy of the price, let's say. There is the fact that all the clubs were nearby. There is the accessibility of the communication, as you see the clip you just saw, and maybe the guys can show some of the pictures. It's a pretty straightforward communication with a commercial touch to it, unlike the content, which is rather non-commercial, although I don't like to use this term in musical context, let's say non-mainstream term. So we've chosen for the format to kind of get the people in rather than the names, and I hope we'll be able to continue doing this as it's, I think, an actual need for the Bulgarian scene to get, these musical innovators on stage, and yeah, that's it.